Hello, welcome back. Oh, I bet you weren't expecting this. 2 videos in a day after not many for ages. I've had, obviously as you can see, I'm using the Spectrum from retrogaming. Going to be playing Bruce Lee, and I bought this about 2 years ago when it was released and was very impressed with it, but then I kind of stopped using it. For about a year, I think it was. It was only a week or so ago I fired up a game of Chucky Egg and sort of like really enjoyed it, and I thought you know, to get back on the horse, I'd play a little game while rabbiting. So as you can see, I'm going to be playing Bruce Lee, which is one of my favourite games, and you know, it's one of those games that way back in 1984 was released on so many systems, and every single one of them, apart from the BBC Micro version, I really enjoyed playing. BBC Micro version, for some reason, well, not for some reason, it was most probably due to memory limitations, was missing either the Green Yamo or the Ninja, and I can't remember which one, and it made for a bit of a crap game. This isn't the greatest tripod in the world. It's a bit wobbly, and as ever I am just pointing the camera at the screen or my phone at the screen, and we're just going to play the game. I'm not going to profess to be any good at it, but yeah, you know the score by now. Anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, so this was one of the games that I sort of played a lot because I'm going to say it was simple for me. It was one of the few games I could complete back in the day. I'm probably not going to get anywhere near that now. But it was just a game I loved. It's just very simple. It's got a lot of sort of comedy moments in it. If you're lucky, you can get the Yamo and Ninja to fight each other. Now obviously you've got to go around the screen, collecting the lanterns through the various screens until that little portal at the bottom there opens up eventually once you've gone through the screens, and then you can go into the sort of underworld. Always, like I said, always liked this game, and I thought it might just be a laugh to have a look at. So what's been going on with, well, let's start with a little bit more with the game. So it's released by US Gold. I think it said it was Data East, I think, was the original. People with, oh, for God's sake. Yeah, as you can tell, this isn't going to be a perfect play. Oh, I've done it again. Come on. Ah. Losing patience with myself here. What am I doing wrong? I can do it when I go there, can't I? So why can't I do it? Ah, there we go. Yeah, so what's been going on of late? You saw, those of you that will have been continuing to sort of like follow. Oh, that's going to be, no it ain't. I kind of changed a lot of things around, just started focusing on things I wanted to do, things that interested me. I'd done games and gaming for a long time, and I think I'm sort of saying it again and again and again. I kind of got disenchanted with it for quite a while. Plus other things and other interests sort of like came along, and I just decided, you know, there were other things I'd like to focus on. We like to visit old cemeteries and stuff. We like to go for long walks, etc. I did mention in one of the previous videos that we want to walk the... buggered that up. We want to walk the Great Glen Way between Inverness and somewhere else up in Scotland. Fort William. That's it. Next year. And we want to do that for charity. And we'd been having sort of like walks and stuff, and I noticed on one of them I mentioned that I had some sort of like pain and cramping in my leg, and I couldn't quite work out, why. I thought it was just a muscle strain, etc. And shortly after that video, I sort of dialed 111. Not dialed 111. I did the online consult thingy, and I put the symptoms in, and it said go straight to A&E, and I was like, really? Because you know what waiting times in A&E can be like, and I really didn't fancy. I didn't think I needed to. My leg wasn't hanging off or anything. But also, I wasn't sure what it was trying to get me to. Oh, what they sort of. Oh, sod it. Knackered that. Yeah. I can't remember where I was. Anyway, I didn't think I needed to go to A&E basically. But I went anyway, and fortunately, I was in straight. Oh, I was in. It seemed more or less straight away, and it didn't sort of. I've done this a million times before. It's game over. It's taken straight through, and this woman was like, "Oh right, come through for your blood test." And I'm like, "Blood test? What are these blood tests for?" "Oh, because of the symptoms you've described, we want to check for a blood clot." And I'm like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah, that can be really serious, like a deep vein thrombosis, etc." So I was like, "Oh my god." Which, I thought I'd been sort of like fairly active. Well, for me, I've been sort of like, I'm known to be sloth-like on occasions, but like I said, we've been going around. We've been doing quite a bit of walking, exercising, and stuff like that. And I thought, no, you're having a laugh, mate. But they weren't. And it turned out that the blood test I had, they tested for a blood clot, and it's safe to say I didn't have one. But they said I've got a circulation problem in my lower leg, which getting old and stuff like that, it's things are going to start going wrong and falling off, but you just gotta get on with life, haven't you? And that's what I've been sort of trying to do. And like I've said before, I've not wanted to sort of like give up YouTube sort of completely, and that's why just decided to just crack on and keep on doing what I was interested in, and that did sort of re-energise me, if you know what I mean. Ah, you clown. Now, views wise and stuff like that haven't been spectacular, but to be honest, I was never in the game for subscribers and view counts and stuff like that. Numbers really don't. Numbers really don't matter to me. It's a good God. I got all the way through this last time, didn't I? The numbers don't sort of matter to me. They never have. It was always just the fun of just doing stuff and then having discussions with people about it. And to be honest, it's been sort of good to see other people sort of come along and sort of do things. I'm not going to say, oh, for God's sake, I'm not going to say I was the original ZX Spectrum YouTuber and then sort of like retrogaming. Far from it. But there weren't an awful lot of us sort of 10-ish years ago, I think, when I it's going to go wrong, isn't it? When I first sort of started. And now, I mean, because I did sort of like carry on checking things, there's an awful lot more, and you know, there's far more professional production values out there than my point your phone at the screen lark, which, you know, has always done me. Oh, and some people liked it, so I never saw the point in changing it. It just seemed a lot of effort to sort of change it, you know. So I'm quite happy doing it this way, and continuing to do it this way. It's, like I say, it's done me well over the years. Right, I've got to go all the way up the top and do that bloody bit again, haven't I? What else? It's been big adventures. We found out the hard way that grapes, raisins, currants, sultanas, etc. are poisonous to dogs, toxic, highly toxic to dogs. Labrador Ripley, just a couple of only a couple of weeks back, Mrs. Baz plonked a cup of tea and a couple of Garibaldi biscuits down on the table, literally for seconds, and in the microsecond that she'd put them down, the dog had snaffled them. Now, like I said, those things are highly toxic and poisonous to dogs, so they say. So we phoned up the vets, and we'd just missed them, so they diverted through to the emergency vet service, which as soon as we spoke to someone, it was like, yeah, you've got to get her down here, we've got to have a look at her, see if she's right. This is she exhibited no signs of distress or anything like that, but you know, what can you do? You don't want to, oh for God's sake, you don't want to take the risk, do you, that if you don't get it sort of checked out, that, you know, your dog might become really, really poorly, and she means the world to us. So we took her up to the emergency vet surgery, because it's an emergency out of hours vet, just for turning up. 320 quid. They gave her an injection to make her sick. They gave her an injection to make her sick, and then she was sick promptly, and then they sent us away with 2 bottles of like liquid charcoal, and said sprinkle that all over her grub, because that will help mop up, don't know how it exactly works, mop up any sort of like nastiness that's that's sort of hanging around inside. So we did that, and we looked at the bill, and my God, it was over 700 quid, just for 2 biscuits. Yep, 2 biscuits. But you know, like I said, what can you do? You're stuck. You've got to do something. You can't just leave it. I'm not an expert. I'm not a vet. So you've got to trust these people. Now, yeah, 700 quid the insurance people paid out. But the stuff we were given, we looked at it, at the bill, and I think it was something like 90 quid for these 2 bottles of charcoal stuff. But you look on Amazon, you could get it for like 20 quid each. 20 quid a bottle. I thought, bloody hell, you know. But then, you know, so that's an adventure. And what else have we done? We've been camping lately. We bought a tent. You know, mentioned again about doing the sort of Great Glen Way. It was a tent we actually bought 3 years ago, but used it in anger for the first time a couple of weeks ago, because, as I said, before we did have plans to do this walk much earlier, but Mrs. Baz suddenly got diagnosed with breast cancer, so we had to put everything on hold, and issues with her dad as well, in his terrible accident. But, you know, we had fun. We packed far too much stuff for, you know, 2 days and up. Oh, for God's sake, I've missed those 2 up there, haven't I? Far too much stuff for just 2 days in a, you know, in a little tent. And it was amazing the stuff we forgot to pack. spent the whole week looking forward to a fry up, and then realised that I left the eggs at home. And the one day the campsite didn't have any freshly laid eggs from their sort of chickens was that morning. So there was a Tesco just up the road, so you know it wasn't a disaster. But yeah, the kind of things you sort of find out. Now, I hadn't slept in a tent since I was about 7 or 8 years old. And neither of my missus either. She used to go camping a lot with her family, although they were more caravan camping holidays that she... I've left the other screen, haven't I? So yeah, it was novel for both of us, and we had a good old laugh. It was good fun. Got bloody cold at night, even though we were in the middle of that sort of heat wave. You know, they had to put restrictions on because the ground was completely parched, as you can as you can imagine. I mean, it looked like the inside of a giant baby's nappy. That means a nappy that is giant, not the nappy of a giant baby, is what I meant by that. For some reason, I thought you might need me to clarify that. But this is what I intend to sort of do. It's kind of what I did before recently, isn't it? Just sort of talk bollocks and play games. You know, it's still got a place. I've got a PlayStation 5, and I think, you know, the only games I've really played to any extent on them are sort of like old games. I saw there was a remaster of Broken Sword from 1996. So I downloaded that, and I had great fun sort of like revisiting that, because that was a game I really enjoyed back in the day. But other than that, and maybe Life is Strange I enjoyed, I'm struggling to sort of think of things that I used to, you know, PlayStation. The games are far too big nowadays, and I don't really have the time in the day to sort of like play these mega sort of massive games. Am I excited for GTA 6? Not really. I had GTA for... Oh, right, yeah, okay. I've had most of the GTAs, but found them just eventually got too big. GTA 5, I don't think I played for more than a few days, you know, before just getting bored with it. I never played the online stuff. And I know there's been all this drama recently about Sony have announced that they're doing away with doing away with physical copies of games. From 2028, I think it is. And I know that's got people sort of like annoyed. But I mean, it was the same with the PlayStation 4 when I had one. It was just like a glorified entertainment centre, really. I only really used the PS5 for mostly like Netflix, YouTube, and you know, iPlayer and all that. I forgot it again. So these things all look very nice, but do I get the play out of a PlayStation 5 that I got out of a PlayStation 3 or 2? No, I don't. And even the sort of classics catalogue on the premium service isn't fantastic. Some of the games, some of their definition of classic is, yeah, iffy, if you know what I mean. Oh, so what? Come on then. What's your memories of Bruce Lee on any of the systems? I'll just have one more sort of like attempt at this. Yeah. What's your memories of this one? It's like I said, it was one of the sort of few games I could actually complete. I liked lots of games, don't get me wrong, but I was only good at a few. Which, you know, it is what it is. Oh, I've got done that the wrong way, ain't I? Div. I'll get out of it. Twit. I mean, and I've still got all the... I haven't fired up any of the other systems that I have for a long time. You know... And I should. I mean, I've got the means to sort of just do them casual. The problem I had, I've sort of said before, is where I moved away from Spectrum to cover everything, I started doing sort of comparison videos, like side-by-side versions, and, you know, they became a pain in the arse to do. Getting the machines out, setting them up one after the other, filming the segments, etc., putting it all together. It was really... I kind of bit off more than I could chew, if you know what I mean. And it stopped becoming fun fairly quickly. Well, no, not fairly quickly. You know, I did enjoy it. But, you know, space has always been a... Ah! Oh, that's all right, actually, losing a life there. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Space has always been a bit of a premium around here, and, you know, it made for a messy environment, because obviously I didn't have many places to put stuff when they were out. So yeah, but there's loads of channels now, and it's good to see, because you can have your 500 gigabyte mega game and stuff, but if it ain't playable, you know, if it doesn't grab you, and if it's too difficult for you, then, you know, this is 48k. You know, and the amount of fun you can still have with games like these is just amazing. I mean, let's say this is 42 years old, and there's still people playing it today. So, oh, right, once more. Oh, I got through there just in time, didn't I? Wee, bye-bye. Oh, clown. And again. Oh my God. Oh dear. Right, shall we have one more go? What do we reckon? Yeah. Come on then. I mean, you know, I have no criticism of when I was saying about all I do is point phones at the point my phone at the screen and press record, and other people are sort of far more professional. Is that the word? In their approach. That's not a dig at them at all. This is just the way I've always felt comfortable doing it. I'm not technically minded. Good luck to those that are. I've seen, you know, AI is massive nowadays, and YouTube is slowly becoming full of AI shite. to the point, I think they've changed their rules, haven't they? Or they are changing their rules for monetization for AI only channels. And you know, that sort of has been a bit off-putting, because I used to watch quite a lot of YouTube, and I find a person talking, an actual real person talking, very therapeutic at time. You know, you can have it on in the background. But some of these AI channels, the voices and the accents, they're all the same. And some of the sort of like imagery they use just looks obviously fake. And the pronunciation of words is wrong. So even if the voice sounds genuine, you know, you can... Genuine, authentic, that's probably a better one, a better word to use. You can tell because it will pronounce a word completely stupidly, or a place name, like really bizarrely. And, you know, they're all a bit soulless, a lot of them now. And I much prefer, you know, an actual human. Oh, don't you dare kill me. You can have that, sunshine. But I suppose it's got... I mean, I did muck about with it to create some thumbnails, but I wasn't particularly pleased with the... Oh, fella, you bite twat. I wasn't particularly pleased with the result. And one or two others gave quite honest feedback about it, saying, you know, it didn't look great. So, you know, I don't put much effort into the thumbnails either, just like a screenshot from the game or something. But it's all about trying to sort of rediscover some fun. And I think I'm managing to do that. You know, slowly catchy monkey and all that. I'm not going to go sort of all in straight. All in sort of like straight away, completely back to the way the channel was, because, like I said, I've got other competing interests now. But but yeah, I do want to get back to... Whoa! Oh yeah, I've got to do this, haven't I? Come on. Oh, no, too close to the edge thing there. You can play it two-player as well, can't you, this game? One of you can be Bruce, and one of you can be one of the other bods. Whoa! Ooh, that was close. Oh, I'm going to get done. Oh, no, I'm not. No, I think... I was just about to say I was doing really well. I was going to say I used to be kind of known-ish for my ineptitude at games. And then I thought I was doing reasonably well, and then I went and done that. Duh! Right, come on in. All good fun. Where do I go now? I'm supposed to open up. I can't remember where I've got to go now. Where do I go? Something's not opened up. Ah. Right. Oh, yeah, up here now. I've been through here, haven't I? What have I done? Have I gone wrong somewhere? I can't remember. Oh, right, yeah, I've got to go over there, haven't I? Up there. Ah! Ah! I needed to jump there. I think half an hour of watching Baz play Bruce Lee and listening to him waffle and spout. It's enough punishment for everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the chat. That was just to give you a little bit of an update on what's going on and what's been going on, etc. I hope you liked the video. Yes, I know it's very poorly produced, etc. That's all you're ever going to get from me. If you do like the video, please, let me know. Join in conversation with the comments. It'd be lovely if you subscribed. If you did subscribe, then please, like I say, join in the conversation, because that's what it's all about. Thank you ever so much for watching. Take care and goodbye.